Imagine a quiet summer evening in the world of football when suddenly a transfer rumor explodes like a firecracker in a Catalan festival. Fermin López, the talented midfield magician from Barcelona, suddenly linked with a surprising suitor, Chelsea, the Blues hungry to rewrite their story in the Premier League. This isn't your typical big club chasing a young star tale. No, this one's sprinkled with a dash of drama, a pinch of intrigue, and enough twists to keep every fan on the edge of their seat. Fermin López, who has been steadily weaving his craft at the Camp Nou, is no stranger to whispers. The 22-year-old has burst onto the scene with a blend of creativity, vision, and an uncanny ability to unlock defenses with just a flick of his boot. Barcelona fans have watched him blossom. The little maestro with a knack for threading impossible passes and controlling the rhythm of play. But as much as the Blaugrana faithful cherish him, the harsh reality of football economics and squad reinvention makes the whispered possibility of his departure feel less like science fiction and more like an impending sequel. Enter Chelsea, a club amid transition, balancing ambition with a very English sense of grit and hustle. Stamford Bridge has been scouting young talent with an eye for flair and longevity, and López ticks those boxes. Rumors hint that Chelsea's new sports director has been watching match after match, captivated by López's ability to read the game like he's got a crystal ball tucked under his jersey. Could this be the blueprint for the Blues' midfield renaissance? The idea of López swapping the Spanish sun for London clouds and a Chelsea kit instantly sends imaginations into overdrive. But let's pump the brakes a little. Barcelona, even in flux, remains a fortress with deep ties to homegrown talent. The Catalan club knows what they have in Fermin, a gem patiently polished. The talks behind closed doors are said to be both intense and respectful, with Barcelona weighing their squad's balance and financial needs against their desire to keep López as a cornerstone of their future projects. Meanwhile, Chelsea's offer is reportedly generous, but nothing has been signed, sealed, or delivered just yet. The tug-of-war feels less like a simple transaction and more like a friendly chess match, every move scrutinized and every second building tension. You can almost picture the setting. A young player standing in the middle, dreams pulling him towards Premier League battles, while loyalty tugs gently back to the Catalan hills. Which way will López lean? Will he dare step into a new league where the stakes are higher and the pressure immense, or stay loyal to the club that shaped his footballing identity? It's this uncertainty that has made the rumor a hot topic in living rooms, pubs, and online forums worldwide. So if you're already biting your nails, wondering how this story will unfold, here's a little nudge. Smash that like button if you want to see López thriving in the Premier League, or drop a comment and tell me why you think Barcelona should hold on to their midfield maestro. And if you haven't subscribed yet, well, what are you waiting for? Because transfer stories like these are what keep the beautiful game tantalizing, unpredictable, and downright addictive. Stay tuned, because as the transfer window ticks closer to the deadline, the next chapter of Fermin López's story is about to be written. And trust me, you don't want to miss a single line. The transfer window is reaching boiling point, and one of the hottest stories right now? Nicolas Jackson's potential move from Chelsea to Bayern Munich. Here's the situation. The Senegalese striker has already agreed personal terms with Bayern. That's right. The player himself is on board. He's excited by the chance to line up alongside Harry Kane to add speed, pressing, and energy to the Bundesliga champions' attack. And just picture it. Kane with his deadly finishing, Jackson running in behind. It's a partnership that could terrify defenses across Europe. But here's where it gets tricky. Chelsea are digging their heels in. They don't want a simple loan deal, they don't want Bayern testing the waters. For them, it's simple, either a permanent transfer or a loan with an obligation to buy, and they're valuing Jackson at around £80 million. Now, Bayern are famous for being smart with their transfers. They like structured loan deals, calculated risks, so there's a real clash in approaches here. Chelsea want immediate guarantees, Bayern want flexibility. That negotiation is what's holding everything up, and while Bayern are frontrunners, they're not alone in this race. Aston Villa, led by Unai Emery, are seriously interested. Remember, Emery managed Jackson at Villarreal and knows exactly what he brings. Newcastle United are also lurking, keeping close tabs. But let's be honest, Bayern Munich, with Champions League football and the chance to play with Kane, still feels like the most attractive destination. So what's the bottom line? Jackson wants the move, Bayern want the player, Chelsea want the money. If the clubs can bridge that gap before the window shuts, we could soon see Nicolas Jackson unveiled in Bayern red. But until pen hits paper, this deal hangs in the balance. Keep watching this space, because this one could be decided in dramatic deadline day fashion. The transfer window always delivers twists and shocks, and right now, one name is stealing the headlines: Savinho. The Brazilian wonder kid has suddenly become the center of a transfer tug-of-war, with Tottenham Hotspur pushing hard to pull him away from Manchester City in what could be one of the biggest moves of the summer. So here's the latest. Tottenham are going all in. Reports suggest Spurs have launched a club record bid worth around £70 million to prize Savinho away from the Etihad. That's a huge statement of intent from Spurs, who've been crying out for attacking creativity after missing out on other targets like Eberechi Esse and seeing James Maddison sidelined with a long-term injury. But the big question is, will City actually let him go? Pep Guardiola has been very clear. He rates Savinho highly, saying he wants the winger to stay at City for many, many years. Yet Pep also admitted something very telling. If the player wants a new challenge, City won't stand in his way, and that opens the door for Tottenham. Now let's talk about the player himself. At just 21 years old, Savinho has already made waves in English football. Last season he featured in nearly 50 games, picking up 8 Premier League assists while dazzling fans with his pace, flair, and confidence on the ball. He's the kind of winger who can stretch defenses, create chances out of nothing, and bring that Samba magic Spurs supporters would absolutely love to see at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. And think about the fit. Under Thomas Frank, Spurs are building a team based on energy, direct football, and attacking transitions. Add Savinho into that mix with his speed and creativity, and suddenly Tottenham's front line looks a lot scarier. He could be the perfect partner for Son and a nightmare for defenders across the league. Of course, it wouldn't be deadline day without some drama. City are reluctant to lose such a talented prospect. Tottenham are pushing harder than ever, and the clock is ticking. Savinho finds himself right in the middle of it all, with a career-defining decision looming. Stay at City, where minutes might be harder to come by in a stacked squad? Or take the leap to Spurs, where he'd likely walk straight into the starting 11 and become the centerpiece of a bold new project? One thing's for sure. This isn't just another transfer rumor. This is a high-stakes tug-of-war between two clubs with very different needs and visions. Tottenham want their statement signing. City want to keep their future star. And Savinho? He just wants the best platform to show the world what he can do. So, as the deadline approaches, keep your eyes glued to this one. Because whether he stays at the Etihad or moves to North London, Savinho is destined to be one of the most talked about names of this transfer window.